Okay, all right, we're live. Good morning, everyone. Maria Gonzalez here from Vida Del Norte. We are here this morning with Miss Angelica Lovato, who is a junior at Questa High School. And we are just gonna touch base with Angelica this morning and just kind of have a casual conversation to see how things are going and get some of her input on some of the things that that she is comfortable talking about. So good morning, Angelica, and welcome to our coffee and conversation here with Vida del Norte.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
So, Angelica is a part of our Active 8 Coalition, which is a part of our youth sector of our Vida del Norte Coalition. I think you've been on for what, about 2 years now?
Roughly, yeah. Getting close to that.
So, and Angelica has been a really great asset to our coalition. You know, she helps us in ways that she can, and I think she's committed and passionate about what our mission is and what we're trying to do. So, Angelica, I know I kind of wanted to touch base a little bit about the vaping issue that some of maybe your peers or some youth are dealing with. And then also just kind of thinking about what it's like to be home and having to do schoolwork and all of those other stresses that you all are dealing with. I know one of the things that we've kind of been going back and forth with, we know that last year vaping was a big issue in the school setting. You know, you guys were seeing it on a regular basis. Obviously, you haven't been in school for nearly a year, so you're not able to see or witness what is happening at the moment. But are you getting a feeling that peers are still vaping quite a bit, or are you thinking that it's decreasing? What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, like you said, I wouldn't know because I'm not in school, so I don't see it as often, especially because it's not something I do in my own household. But I think it's something that's still a lot of teens do in our community. Just because, I mean, I know it's a habit that's tough to quit. It's something that once they get started, they keep going. They like the taste of it or the smell of it, or I don't know, maybe how they feel whenever they smoke. I don't really know exactly what the feeling they get from it is, but I know it's something that a lot still do today. It might have decreased because I know there's been a lot of kids that have been seeing a lot of the anti-vaping ads and like how it affects your health and stuff. And I know that's been a big turnoff to a lot of kids that are vaping now. But as far as being at home, I don't know if it's decreasing too much. Maybe a bit just because some parents don't allow vaping. So
Right.
maybe they can't get a hold of it, or I think it could be harder for a lot of kids. So I mean, that's I guess a positive about being at home more is
Right.
kids, the parents can keep track of it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think I could agree with that. I think, and then I also do feel like maybe kids can hide it from their parents. Do you think that that's a possibility and could?
Yeah, definitely. I know a lot that know how to like sneak it around very easily, like blowing the smoke back into your shirt, or it's just, I mean, they're very portable. Like they're very small and easy to just keep hidden away from people. So I mean, that's definitely a possibility.
Yeah, I guess we're all kind of at this standstill where we kind of just gonna have to wait till we get back into normal routines and then see what we come from there. It is, and I know you were able to see some of the numbers that we shared from our last data, and I know you were able to see how high some of those things are. What do you think about those numbers? What do you think may have caused the drinking to jump 20% and then the vaping to go up to 68%? What are some of your thoughts on that?
I think it's just because it's very normalized in our community. Like it's very normal to see teenage or this like my age group drinking or smoking, or I don't know. And then there's a lot of instances where it's like it's provided for by people that are of age to drink. And it's something I see. Like there's not a lot of people I know that don't do it. And it's kind of sad to say, but yeah, it's a very normalized thing in our community. I think it's just going to continue to grow until someone says it's not that normal.
Yeah. And then, so you made a good point of how you said like it's easily accessible. Do you think? I mean, is it parents? Is it peers? What's your thought?
I think it's a mix of some parents and some just like older, like kids that like students that used to go to school at Questa, but finally became of age and now they just kind of hang out or party with people that are still teenagers in high school now.
Right.
And once they're past the 21 age, I mean, a lot of people get along with like adults around here, which is, it's fine. It's cool. It's just, that's part of the reason it's so accessible.
Right. Okay. Cool. So let's talk a little bit about this whole COVID issue and what you guys are dealing with in terms of like, I mean, how are you coping? What's your take on everything?
I've gotten a lot more used to it. When COVID first hit, it was kind of weird because I wasn't really allowed to see anybody. I didn't have work, I didn't have school, I didn't have sports. Like I was not used to being home so much that it just felt like it was a little sad. It was a little lonely. I didn't get to have any friends. I just had my family and I love my family. It's like that's not the problem. It's just it's weird. I'm very social and I love to go out and see people and talk to people. So I think that was just kind of weird for me. And then when school hit, school still it's okay, but I think it's missing a lot. It's hard not being able to like get that interaction with your teachers and your peers. And I mean, part of me is like, yeah, like your dream is to not go to school. Like I get to sleep in, wake up 5 minutes before class and I'm fine. Like I like it's nice, but it's also has its downfalls. Like I think I get distracted a lot easier now that I'm at home. Like I try to do work, but like my phone's right here. Like I want to just start scrolling through social media or something. And it's like, I need to try to cut that habit so I can get more schoolwork done. So
Right.
that's been kind of the bigger issue.
Okay. So you feel like there's a little bit more distractions at home than
I think so. Yeah.
I think I could agree with that. I know when for myself, when I try to work from home, I land up like, oh, the dishes need to get done, or laundry needs to get done, or oh, there's something nice on Netflix that I can watch. So I think there's definitely some distractions. What is the consensus that you feel from some of your peers? I know, so like for me, my girls, they're struggling, my younger ones anyways, they're struggling with having to be home and not having that social interaction. Are you getting that same sense from some of your peers?
Yeah, I know there's some of my more like introverted friends, I think are a lot more comfortable in like the home setting. So I think I know some people that do enjoy being at home more, but there also are a lot of most of my peers, I think for the most part, would prefer to be with our friends. I mean, especially now because it's getting towards the end of high school. Like I only have another year after this, and then it's kind of like it's done. Like that those the best years of my life are just kind of gone. And that's just kind of what it is. And I'm grateful that this is happening more now in my junior year than my senior year. I do feel kind of bad for more of the seniors out there that like are kind of missing their whole last year of high school. But hopefully maybe if the numbers like decrease, we can slowly make our way back. I think that would be nice, but we'll see.
I think you mentioned sports. I know that that's always been a big outlet for you and a lot of the other kids, a lot of the kids in our community, in fact. So I think that's been a big hit. What's your take on missing out on those sports?
it's it's been rough. I sports were kind of a nice outlet, like away from school. It was something to look forward to. It was fun. You got social interaction from people on your team and even like other schools. It was nice to see other people and like being able to meet new people and talk to other people. And we don't get that much anymore. And it was a nice way to like kind of stay in shape. It's kind of like, I feel like if I were to jump back into sports right away, I think it would be like, whoa, wait, I'm not used to this much running anymore.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's kind of the case to that piece to that. So in the meantime, like we've been talking here with Vida at Vida Del Norte, and we're like trying to figure out like some ways that we could get you guys to socialize in a safe, healthy way. And we brainstormed last week or 2 weeks ago when we all met of some things that you guys would like. So like if we were to do like some immediate things that peers would like, what do you think those would be?
I mean, we talked about like some like virtual like classes that you're like they said stuff like cooking classes, painting classes, or like just things that some people would like maybe want to learn more about or that we can get like their friends involved in. Because I mean, virtual, it sucks. You can only do so much virtually, but I think if it's something that's like interesting enough or fun enough for like kids, I think they would be interested in trying to join the meeting, especially because like we don't have a lot that we're doing right now. I think a lot of kids are just kind of bored at home. Every day looks the same. It's just school and then go back to bed, eat. Like it's not exciting.
Yeah. Do you think it would be more beneficial if it were like you guys leading it as opposed to like someone like me leading leading a meeting like that? Like say for example, you have this great chocolate chip cookie recipe and you want to share it and get everybody involved. Do you think it would be, you'd get more kids involved if you guys were leading it or if an adult was leading it?
I mean, possibly, yeah. I think so. Just because I think it's a lot of fun seeing like someone your own age doing stuff like that, and then you kind of can like they joke around. You can joke around with them, and it's like it's different because it's less like it's less of a teacher thing, more of like we're doing this as a group thing because we're all like similar in age.
Yeah, because I know you guys have gotten together to bake cookies, and you know, in your small group of peers, and I know that that's been fun, and I think I know like my girls, they spend time on playing games with each other and they converse back and forth with their peers. So I think like what you just said, if we'd be able to host something like that and maybe even possibly buy ingredients for kids to pick up and say, okay, we're going to do this cooking workshop on Wednesday before Christmas, or I don't know, whatever we were going to do. I think that would be something that we could maybe work out.
I think that would be beneficial. I think it's just trying to get more people, or especially kids, like involved in the community, because I think some people feel very like left out of just because they're at home, they're not doing much. School's almost over, and it's going to get even worse because they don't get like even the class interaction, which is even it's more than we think. It means more to some people than others because some people feel like they don't have as many maybe friends anymore because they haven't been able to talk to them, and it's kind of rough for some kids.
Yeah. Yeah, and then so do you think that a virtual dance party with maybe some breakout rooms where people could socialize would be something that you guys would be interested in?
I mean, yeah, I think so for some people, especially. I don't know if I'm much of a dancer myself, but I do love listening to music and I love talking to people. So I mean, I guess, yeah, it's kind of tough to do that stuff virtually, but I think it still would be a good thing.
Okay. Because we're actually in the process of potentially planning something like that, and we're partnering with like Taos Alive and the Taos Pueblo coalition as well, and we're trying to figure out if that's something that you guys would be interested in doing, and we're kind of doing this. This would be kind of like in place of our New Year's Eve party that we had last year, so that's just kind of something that we're thinking, but we don't know if the youth would be
No,
cool to
yeah,
do something
the
like
youth
that.
are tough. It's hard to know what they'll be into or not. I get that.
Yeah. So, well, Angelica, I'm thankful for you coming on and talking with us this morning. And is there anything else that you'd like to share or talk about? I guess let me ask you this question. What has your experience been being on Active 8, and would you encourage other kids to join us?
Activate has been something that's kind of opened my eyes. Like when I first started learning about like the issues of drugs in our community or alcohol, or like seeing the numbers on how great, especially underage people, how much they're drinking and smoking, and especially like the fact that the adults are just kind of, a lot of adults are just turning a blind eye to it, when it's like it kind of is a little bit of a problem. Like those numbers shouldn't be so high, especially for how small our community is. I think it's very eye-opening. And I mean, we do some fun things. Like we've been able to do the movie nights, and we did the New Year's Eve thing. And it's like, it's not just like boring. It's not like we just have a bunch of meetings talking about alcohol and drugs. And like we do, but it's still very interesting information to learn. And I think I definitely would encourage other people to do it. It's
Right.
something worth learning about. It's something that people need to see more. And I mean, you could take that information with you for the rest of life, let people know, especially if you'd like come to a person, you meet somebody in your life that maybe has a drug issue or an alcoholic problem, then maybe you can help them out more, help them get resources that could help them out. I
Yeah, and
think,
we're working on doing more fun activities now that we have our own space. That was one of the main things. So hopefully, once summer comes around, hopefully things will be somewhat back to normal, and we can gather a little bit more and host some smaller events here at the office and get you guys involved. And I mean, you got to travel. You went with us to Dallas.
yeah, that's another plus. I mean, if you want to travel,
We had hoped to go to DC this year. That was another perk of being part of the coalition. Unfortunately, we aren't able to do that, but there's always next year. And so we're hoping that we can shoot for that, and hopefully we'll be able to be all gathered at that point. So yeah, those are the perks of it. So
like there's perks. But also, I think it's just beneficial in general to be able to learn more about it and be able to help. I feel like you're doing a cause.
yeah, well, and we've always appreciated all the work that you guys do. You, Araceli, Amalia, Aliana, Ashlyn, Kaylee, and Kalina, you guys have all really stepped up to help out. Oh, and Michaela, I'm forgetting Michaela. You guys have all stepped up to really help out, and we really do appreciate what you guys are doing for us. So thank you, Angelica, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. And if I don't get to see you, have a very Merry Christmas, and hope to get back into the swing of things soon.
Yeah, hopefully soon. Okay, thank you so much for having me. Have a great rest of your day. Merry Christmas. Bye.
Bye.